All right, let's talk about something wild. Every now and then, a company doesn't just grow. It explodes. We're talking about a full-on rocket launch. And right now, that company is Replit. They're a software platform, and what they've done recently is making everyone in tech stop and stare.
And it really all boils down to this one number, 50x. I mean, just think about that. That's a huge multiplier. You have to ask, what on earth could possibly grow that fast?
And get this, we're not talking about a 5-year plan or some long-term projection. Replit multiplied its annualized revenue by 50 in less than a year, less than 12 months. That's not just fast, that's just insane acceleration.
And just so we're all on the same page about what this actually looks like, this isn't some tiny startup going from $1,000 to 50,000. No, this is a leap from 2.8 million all the way to $150 million in annualized revenue. That is the kind of explosive growth that, makes the entire world pay attention.
So as you can imagine, when you've got that kind of momentum, the big players start to notice. And that revenue explosion, it led directly to a massive headline-making announcement.
$250 million. That's how much they just raised. I mean, that is a serious chunk of change. And it's a huge signal that investors are convinced this rocket ship is just firing up its engines.
And that $250 million, it catapulted the company's total value to a staggering $3 billion. To put that into perspective for you, their valuation basically tripled since just last year in 2023.
Okay, so when you see numbers like these, you gotta ask, how? What is the engine driving all of this? Let's dig in and find out. First off, let's follow the money. Who's actually investing here? Well, it's a who's who of tech royalty. You've got giants like A16Z, you have Google's own AI fund, even Amex Ventures is in on it. This is not just random hype, folks. This is the smartest money in the industry placing a massive bet on where Replit is headed.
But investors are one thing. What really matters is who's using it. And again, look at these names: Zillow, Duolingo, Coinbase. These are major companies, and they're actively building on Replit. And they're not alone. They're part of this huge community. We're talking over 40 million users. That's really the grassroots force behind all this momentum.
Okay, so this brings us to the really cool part, the actual technology that's making this all happen. And honestly, it's a game changer. It's making us rethink what AI even is.
The magic word here is agentic AI. Now, what does that mean? It's not just another chatbot that answers questions. No, this is about AI that can actually do things. It can act on its own, it can plan, it can execute, it can solve problems all by itself to get to a goal that you give it.
Think about it this way. For the longest time, we've had AI as a helpful assistant, right? You ask it to do a small, specific task. This is a totally different league. We're moving to an AI that's a true collaborator, a real partner that works with you on the tough stuff. And how big of a leap are we talking? Well, Replit themselves said their new AI, which they're calling Agent 3, is 10 times more autonomous than their previous versions. 10 times! That's not an upgrade. That's a whole new generation of tech.
So what can Agent 3 actually do in the real world? Well, for starters, it can test code and then fix its own mistakes. Pretty cool. It can also help you build other, more specialized AI agents. And maybe the biggest deal of all, it can automate those super complex, boring workflows, and not just for coders, but for pretty much any kind of job you can think of.
So you can see where this is all going. We're looking at a pretty wild future that's coming up fast. And the impact here, it's way, way bigger than just writing code. If you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. For years, software has been a tool, right? Something you use. The big shift happening right now is that AI is becoming a teammate, someone you work with. It's a move from a simple tool to a genuine collaborator.
And that leaves us with a pretty mind-bending question to think about. Just imagine your own job for a second, all the stuff you do day to day. What would be different? What could you achieve if you had an autonomous AI teammate working right there with you?